Okay, so this is the timing mechanism off the marble sling, and we're going to duplicate it, kind of, sort of, somewhat, for the spinner. So the sling, or the sling is relatively simple. I have the chuck disconnected on the drill so I can spin the wheel. So what happens is the marble comes into the staging area, and it just gives the motor, through a switch on the sling itself. It gives the motor just enough juice to get to this point. And what you've got after that point, this band takes over and feeds the motor power. So as soon as it gets a little tick, now this wheel is powered all the way around in a circle, 360 degrees, until it gets to the end of that band and it runs out of juice. Then the next marble in line will fall on the switch. Just give the motor just enough time, and it does another 360. Okay, after the motor starts spinning, this band trips a relay to boot the marble into the bucket. So this motor has started spinning. The relay comes on, kicks the ball into the bucket. It waits this long until it gets to this set of contacts right here that spins the motor in the bucket for the sling. So it's very simple. It's just a sequence of events that take place. It's basically just three switches mounted in a row on a circle. So, okay, the sequence of events for our marble spinner. The marble is going to land in the staging area, and it starts the cylinder spinning. So it's going to do the same thing on the elevator, as soon as the marble lands in the staging area, it will have the power band going all the way around for the cylinder to do 360 degrees. After that happens, the marbles are released from the staging area to the launcher. Next, the marble lands in the launcher. Next, the air bearing turns on. Next, the marble comes up to speed to launch. Next, the marble launcher moves off the CD to launch it. The air turns off after the marble is launched, and then the launcher returns back to its home position. So it's a pretty good sequence of events. It all has to happen in a pretty short time frame. These are ballpark estimates of how much I figure in between each event. Some of them could be longer. Like when the marble is released from the launcher to the point where the marble lands in the launcher, I could make that 20 minutes if I wanted by making a track that went all the way around the living room and everything else. But I don't want to do that. I want my marble machine to keep flowing as fast as it can. So I'm thinking 3 seconds is probably a good estimate. Obviously a second, I'm only giving it, this could be instant, but I'm giving myself a second. So all in all, the time is 13 seconds if you add this all up, and that 13 seconds has to be spread out over the course of 360 degrees. It only ends up being around 5 RPMs. That's a slow spin to make all these things be able to happen in a sequential order, which is why it's so imperative for me to get some kind of timing mechanism on my gearing off of my motor to give me a nice slow speed. And it's really nice. I mean, I could just say I'm going to build something that takes 15 seconds in a revolution. After doing this math, I'm sure that would work. But it's nice once it's assembled and you have all these things sequencing, all happening in a sequence, it's nice to be able to speed this whole sequence up or slow this whole sequence down. The things are always going to happen in the same order, so to be able to have the capability to speed it way up and make the thing run as fast as it can without things getting miscombobulated, or slow it way down if I think this thing is like outpacing the rest of the machine, I can slow it down a little bit. So this is the major challenge with getting the timer for the marble spinner going.